My name is Julia Salume, and I lead the global influencer channel for IG.com. IG is a global fintech company present in over 17 markets and based in London, UK. We offer over 17,000 financial products across non-leverage and leverage products. And we are just trying to diversify our portfolio and tap our toes into the influencer world. They're always trying to expand and talk to new generations. So influencers was the right move for them to really start to building a rapport and communicating the project in a way that will resonate with the new generation and the new audience. So we are in basically all over the globe: Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Japan, all over Europe. Just tapping the toes in the US and South American market. My team is a central team. So what we do is we support the local marketing managers on implementing the strategy, and we serve as a bit of a consulting body and with influencers expertise on how they can adjust the strategy and how they can track performance, but respecting the cultural differences of each market, because it's massive when you're talking about partnerships, right? Like the way you conduct relationships in each country is just so different. We chose partnerships for IG because it's really the best way forward. I believe that on a marketing perspective, what we decide it's the next step is actually what the new generation is start to encouraging and pushing as the next step. So if you look at Gen Z, they do have a very, what are the trends coming up? They have a big disbelief on ads, and they are more prone to personal connections. So partnerships comes just so natural for talking to this audience. And because as part of the company strategy, we want to go towards this audience, we are just really respecting and resonating to what they think is the best way of being communicated to. You really have the rise of creators that are just so much more honest, is so much more authentic, and they can really break down as oh, this is best if you want this. And that's the moment where you get really the real talk. You really get to who your product are talking to. And I think that the new generation really understands this, and they don't want the nice blurb, they just want the real talk. There are a lot of finance content, and I think as we are moving towards to making people a bit more aware of their finances and talking about building wealth, there's a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunicating in the space, right? So what works in one country doesn't work to another one. But with the wonders of the internet, where everyone has access to everything, it's really easy to get the wrong guidance, which for finance is extremely risky, right? Because it's your life that you're putting there. So once we start this trend, we start seeing this trend of people giving advice or giving very personal opinions online, and many people following this, there was a bit, from the brand perspective, was a bit of oh, this is a very dangerous space. We don't want to be involved. We should keep ourselves separated from this. While right now, it's a little bit more the conversation is happening, whether we're part of it or not. But if all the brands and the people that are really understanding of the topic, if they keep themselves outside of the conversation, you're just going to have a pool of poor information, and that's not what we want. So big brands, they're just really trying to take their heads, the heads out, and think, how can we get creative and talk to these people in a way that will respect regulation and compliance, which is really tight for the space, but also provide good information in a space that right now it's not being recognized for it. So it's a very thin line. We're still learning how to navigate this, but I think more and more we are getting the recognition and the space to really being respected by the content that we're putting out there. The biggest challenge for us right now, it's in regulation and compliance. There is a big wealth of information out there on finance, just people sharing their own experiences. And I'm sure that do this, many of them, they do this with the best of their expectations and intentions out there. But because in the past we had such a bad influence of this, a lot of scams going on, poor information, big brands and people who actually know what they're talking about, are capacitated, they actually had a bit of like a repulse to the space, right? And with time going by, we came to understand and accept that it's not because the conversation is happening that we keeping ourselves out of it, not gonna make it stop, right? So we actually have to find a way of adding the good content to the space. We know that TikTok is a rising star and it's been like this for a couple of years now, right? The regulation of many countries is still very averse to short form content for finance because understandably, they say it's a very complex topic to be in a short format. And it's really about trying to have a conversation with the regulators and understanding how having a short version of something doesn't mean water down the value of the information. So all the finance firms are learning how to deal with it, one's quicker than others, one's in a more careful way. But yeah, that's the biggest challenge right now. IG and impact partnership is so crucial to set the standards for the whole finance industry and how you can produce great content and still respect all the controls and regulations that compliance expect. I think that the regulation tools that Impact has right now is crucial for us and really makes us comfortable to tap into a space where right now it's completely new and unknown for us. We see big influencers having a very big, beautiful, organic numbers on views and clicks, but very low conversions in terms of client acquisition. While what we have now with Impact is having this full picture. Many platforms that are just focused on affiliates only or influencer only, they will give you snippets, so top of funnel or bottom of funnel marketing. Impact.com for creators give us the full view from the whole marketing funnel, which is extremely valuable for us. While other platforms, they will give you a snippet of the top of funnel, views and clicks, awareness metrics, and other ones who just gives you the conversion and the profit per sale. Once we have the full, one snapshot of everything, you can really compare the creators and what they're good for, right? Sometimes you're gonna have a big creator that's gonna have beautiful awareness metrics and some small one that are gonna convert extremely well. And both of them can live in the same portfolio of talent, right? They have different qualities, different needs on how we're gonna relate that. And it's not that one is better than the other. It's just understanding what they're good for. And without having the full picture, you can't do it. And Spain has been a very interesting market for us. We have this guy, which is one of the biggest creators out there, almost 1 million followers and great numbers. He would easily reach 9 million views organic in a month. And of course, with the big awareness comes with a big paycheck. And we would see very low numbers of clients coming from him. And there was another one, very small channel, I think on YouTube, he has 1,000 followers, and he had a very popular blog, and he was actually bringing in double of the clients than the big guy. So the local market was about to let the small guy go, because he was oh, actually we can just redirect the money to have more content from this big one. And once we saw the numbers, it was oh, it makes so much sense having both of them together. So that was fresh information, actually. We found out on the report last month, and we were just so glad that we had access and information to make this decision. Once IG decided to really make a big bet on partnerships. We were trying to be as efficient as possible. So we have different channels under partnership for IG. We have affiliates, we have influencers, we have brand to brand. So we were trying to have one-stop shop for the biggest amount of information we could. And Impact was one of the only players in the market that actually covers affiliates and influencers with the depth that we do. So once we made the option for going with Impact, we were really thinking of the sustainability and how long we will be using the platform and we'll be growing with the platform. So that was not a hard choice. The main focus of partnerships is education. Because of regulation and compliance, it's really hard for us to use partnerships and personal relations to convert clients for acquisition basis. So we attract our potential customers via education. We want to position ourselves as a platform that invests on educating the clients, and having partners that are experts in the topic doing this for us and adapting the language and communicating in a more approachable way to the final audience is the key and the basis for our partnership program. Our key objective for influencers is work on the education of our clients and our future clients. We want to have authentic voices explaining our products that we know they're complex in a way that it's more approachable and it's more simple for them to understand. One of the key metrics that we use to measure the growth of the program and how effective we are, it's the click-through rate, the view-through rate during video content, and the diversity of products that our clients that came through partners trade with us, which means that we're really attracting partners that understand the whole spectrum of our product portfolio. So once they come in, they don't stick just with one product, they really understand and they can navigate through our entire portfolio. Impact is really helpful on keeping the team effective because of the reports and the data that it can pull from. It's so hard to be accurate and directive once you cut out all the fluff that can come around with content and with partnerships, because a lot of the impression that we have of how effective a partner is comes down to the personal relationship, and it's really hard to separate what is oh, I really like this person, or this person really makes sense for the brand. So I think once you cut off all the personal views on it and we get down to okay, this is really what this partner is bringing to the business, it's much easier to just make decisions in a more assertive way. Depends a lot of the needs of each market, right? So a couple of markets now, they're very focused on acquisition. So with this, it's okay, let's pull out all the partners from blogs, from YouTube channels, from Twitter, which is big for finance, and see how we can just package them in a way that will match with this market needs. Some of them have a challenge in consideration. So let's see who are the creators that have more clicks and time on page, and let's package this in a way that will make sense for those needs. The conversion rates for creators are just so high that it's kind of dangling the carrot in front of it. It's look, we are doing 50% conversion, clicks to accounts opens with this amount of money. So if you decrease the conversion by 10%, we'll still be doing twice better than paid ads. So it was would you really don't want to see how this is going? So I think that just attaching yourself to the percentage instead of the overall absolute numbers, it's crucial, because once you talk about views, organic views, and unique clicks, it's quite hard to not fall in the mistake of looking at the absolute numbers and comparing to paid ads, paid social, but the value of it and how better are the client and the lead actually that you're attracting, it's much, much different. We are calling them hybrid partners, which are partners that can work with us on a flat fee basis and also on a performance basis. And basically work by really tailoring the offer to the partner to what they're really good at. So historically, we have flat fees for influencers just for the content and let it be. And we see a good traction, but we really don't reward the creator in that matter. And we also have content that converts really well, but could be more creative. By mixing these models together, we can really have the best of both worlds and really cherry pick the partners that can deliver through the funnel. And it really creates a deeper connection with them because they feel that we understand and we value them the way that they should be. Once we get the right influencer that understand the brand, understand the product, it's so much easier for us to grow with them. We have more creative input, we have more partnership, and it's almost like having an extension of the brand. I think the influencer industry is really shaping up and getting more professional in the way that we handle the relationships and what we expect from each other. I think so far we took a lot of content for granted, and the influencers also had a lot of expectations on brand on how we would compensate there from their work. I think right now we are getting into common space where we understand the needs and we reward them in the fair way. So I think for the future, I'm really excited to see creators and brands more on the same page. Everything will be personal brands and everything will be about the influencers. If you think right now, Tesla is not Tesla, it's Elon's company. Fenty is not Fenty, it's Rihanna's company. And there we go. I think that more and more influencers will come closer to affiliates on the space because many of them, they do have the skill of converting really well. And right now we do have the stigma that influencers is for awareness and consideration. So I think that in the future we'll have more the understanding that different partners will perform in different ways and we'll see more of a hybrid model. Short form video, it's really coming to stay for a long time. And I think the finance industry has a lot to learn and benefit from it by learning how to be more concise and more assertive of the way that we really explain our products. IG can take advantage of this trend and use short form content to promote products that are low risk. As I was saying, finance has a huge diversity of it, but we can always focus on how to have a hero content and take snippets out of it. And all the products that comes with a low risk or small finance habits that people can just easily incorporate on a daily basis is something that can come out and become just a short format video. One interview, right? One long video can just be cut out and repurposed in 100 different ways once you have this short format content.